I unfortunately did just have to see a video of the man who cheated on me 3 different times with his current girlfriend, who was the last woman that he cheated on me with, on my For You page on God's internet. So I figured, you know, it's been a few years. We're gonna tell the story of how I caught my ex cheating on me because it's so good. And frankly, it's one of my favorite stories to tell. We can laugh about it now. Before I do that, I need to make something abundantly clear. I do not blame the women involved in this at all in any way. I harbor no ill will towards any of them. I have been them. As far as I'm concerned, this man is the most gifted liar walking this earth. He had me fooled. He had everyone in my life fooled. And he's a master manipulator. I know he's feeding them a certain narrative. I don't blame them. I fell for it too. We're not blaming the women. None of that. Let me set the scene for you. So when my ex and I first got together, we're gonna call him Adam. When Adam and I first got together, he had this friend group. And you know those friend groups where they all like date each other and it's weird? They were one of those. And he had an ex situationship, I thought. An ex in this friend group. We're gonna call her Sally. When we first get together, I'm like, hey, what's going on with Sally? And he's like, I ended that a million times. Like I was so firm with her. I told her it was over. That was never anything serious. Basically making her out to seem crazy. So I spent the entire first year of our relationship dealing with his friends treating me like shit. I was like, man, why do they hate me so much? Then we get to the second year of us dating. We go to Cabo for spring break. We're in Cabo. They're out on the jet skis. I'm holding his phone because we're playing music from his phone, okay? And I've had a few spicy margaritas. Sue me. He gets a text. I click on it. I start seeing a text exchange between him and who we're going to refer to as coworker number 1, because there are 2. Coworker number 1, he's texting her and he's like, I wish you were here. This would be so much more fun if you were here. I bet you just want to see me. Flirty stuff that you don't send to another woman when you're in a relationship. I confront him. He immediately starts crying and he's like, I had no idea it was inappropriate to talk to another woman that way. And I believed him. I was like, oh, this man must be dumb. And this was a joke we used to have, that he didn't have social cues. Hey, so that was not true. He's actually brilliant, but he uses his brilliance to manipulate women. He, after this whole thing happens, he goes, I will never put you in that position again. He would go on to put me in that position again 3 months later in June 2023, but we are gonna come back to that. So the next year of our relationship, I'm really checked out. The relationship was fizzling out. I just wasn't happy anymore. And finally, I decided to address it. This was like April 2024. I say to him, like, I'm just not happy anymore. It feels like we're just friends. Like maybe we should just cut our losses. And he's like, no, you're the love of my life. Like, I wanna marry you. Like, I'm gonna put more effort in. I'm gonna make this work. So I'm like, okay. May happens. May is when he meets, unbeknownst to me, coworker number 2. At the end of May, we go on a trip with all of my friends, okay? When I say my friends, I mean my college friends and my high school friends from Oregon flew in to come on this trip, okay? So this trip's really important to me. On Saturday morning, he admits to coworker number 2 that he has feelings for her, and then proceeds to get in a car with my best friends and drive to this trip. Gets belligerently drunk, and he's not a drinker, so we were all kind of like, dude, what is going on? And he does things that he shouldn't have been doing, you know, if he was admitting his feelings for someone else. Driving home from this trip, again, 2 days before, admitted his feelings for another girl, gets in the car with me, we're driving home, he's talking about when we want to get engaged. Psycho. June of 2024, I go home for like 10 days. I don't hear from him basically at all. I'm like, hey, what the hell's going on? He calls me, he breaks up with me. I don't fight him on it because again, I'm already checked out. I'm like, whatever. And I also want to preface by saying, I am the most understanding person ever when it comes to having feelings for someone else when you're in a relationship. You cannot help how you feel. And if you start to develop feelings for someone else when you're in a relationship, like you're not a mean and terrible person, but you need to leave your relationship and you need to be honest. It wouldn't have made me feel good to hear like, oh, I met someone at work and I am super entranced by her and I want to date her. That doesn't feel good, but that's not mean. That would have been the right thing to do, is break up with your girlfriend. And he kept insisting that he didn't break up with me because of this. And I was like, dude, you should have. But you know what? He's right. He didn't do it because of that, because he did this with other women and didn't break up with me then. So the same week that we break up, I reconnect with one of my high school best friends from Oregon, who I found out was living in LA, and I had no idea. She has a roommate that she met randomly on Facebook. Guess who that roommate is? Coworker number 2. So crazy. So I'm confiding in her about my breakup that happened mere days ago. I show her a picture of my ex. She's like, holy shit. She's putting pieces together, okay? She's putting pieces together that this man, my ex, is the same man that her roommate, her random roommate has been seeing since May. So I confront him. He denies all of it at first. Then I get a text the same night at like 2 a.m. It's a 5-paragraph essay, thesis statement bullshit where he admits to everything. He admits to cheating on me with coworker number 2. He also admits to coworker number 1. He's like, I did this to you in Cabo. I did it again here. I thought, okay, he admitted everything to me. This must be all there is. No. Sally comes back into the picture. Sally tells one of my good friends, I'm so glad Ellie and Adam broke up because he was doing shit with me in June of 2023 he shouldn't have been doing. So she calls me. She tells me everything. She's like, I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner, but in June of 2023, the night we graduated, he turns off his location, goes to see this girl. They go on a walk in the middle of the night for hours. On this walk, he confesses that he still has feelings for her, that he regrets how things ended, that he can't talk to me about anything, and basically just, says that he's unhappy. He tries to get them to go back to one of their apartments. I have no idea this is happening. I'm at home asleep. They go into text for like a month or so after that. And eventually Sally goes, hey, do you still have a girlfriend? And he goes, yeah, I do. And she goes, okay, so you do need to tell your girlfriend that we've been talking and we are done talking. I saw screenshots of this conversation, by the way. So I then confront him about this. I'm like, bitch, another one? Are we fucking kidding? Tally's getting high at this point. I block him though before he can respond because I don't need to listen to his excuses anymore. But he does go on to tell our mutual friends that basically Sally is lying and, misconstruing the truth. I have textual evidence. She's not making it up. I saw it with my own eyes. Anyway, he is still currently dating coworker number 2. That is who I saw on my For You page. It's not her fault. I've been her. I was her. And you know what? If for some reason she stumbles upon this video because I stumble upon hers, girl, you can call me anytime. Anytime you want the receipts, I am happy to be there for you. My favorite part of this whole thing is my brother, when he found out, he was like, damn, we really are like Game of Thrones. We got eyes everywhere.